So the requirements for becoming an adopter are really broad. The specifics are that you need to be 21 and above. You don't need to be in a relationship. You don't need to own your own home, but you do need to be in a stable position. In terms of process, I think it's a question of reaching out to us through one of our social media platforms or through our website, picking the phone up, having a conversation with one of our team. You'll fill in a registration of interest form, and from there we will trigger things like background checks, DBS checks, medicals, and you'll be allocated a social worker who will come and do your sort of stage 1 assessment. Once all of that's done and a decision's been made about suitability to go on to full assessment, that social worker will then take you through your prospective adopters assessment, which is the sort of in-depth report that everybody hears about.
Stage 2 of the process is really about getting into the deeper assessment, really talking and being open about everything. We are all products of our past, our histories, our upbringing, etc. So it's about exploring all of that. It's about exploring who we are now, what we do, what our lifestyle looks like, who our friends and family are, who our support networks are. And it's really critical that, social workers get a real good understanding of where applicants are at that point. The voice of the referee, it will have involved a medical from the GP, it will have involved DBS checks, it could have involved pet assessment if you've got pets. So there's lots and lots and lots of details in the assessment.
And from there it's on to panel, and panel will decide whether they would agree with that social worker's recommendation about your suitability to adopt. So in terms of timescales, we usually try and aim for about 2 months for that stage 1, and then usually a 4-month journey for stage 2 from the beginning of that assessment to reaching panel. And then from there, once you've got your approval following panel, it's into family finding, should you wish to do so. But you can take breaks in between the stages if you wish to do that as well.
Once that's happened, there's another matching panel. Lots and lots more paperwork, including very detailed plans where actually we're trying to think forward and ahead about what the needs of these children might be and whether our family can meet the needs of those children, not just today or tomorrow, but for life, because that's adoption.
We also do a lot of other attachment training or life story training, contact training, identity training, and those are trainings that are offered as people progress through towards panel, and people can access them after panel as well if they wish to do so. And then there's online training as well, so quite a lot there. I often will say to my families, you've got me for at least 2 years. If you've got me as your social worker, then we will be working together for that length of time. And it's really nice because that relationship of trust between you develops, because adopters that are in assessment have to be honest and transparent with us, because we need to make sure that this is right for them and right for the children that we're thinking of them adopting. So you have to have that relationship where they can be honest with you, they can be honest about what's happened to them in their histories, and then as and when questions crop up or struggles come up or difficulties come up later on down the line, that they have the confidence in you to be able to sort of say, actually, can you give me some advice with that? There's nothing quite like standing in a celebration hearing with that family and that child being legally welcomed into that family for the rest of their lives, really. When you realise that this child comes with all its vulnerabilities and with all of the impact of everything that's happened, and you know in your heart that these adopters are absolutely the right place for those children to heal and to recover and to reach their potential, then you know that you've done a good job.